Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. And I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect.
Wagwan people, Lumanny here, back again with another episode of the Aston Villa save here on my channel. Now, starting off here, I was making some team changes, going through a couple of the things that you guys had said, but then I realised I think I made a team change last episode or something, and it completely messed up all of my tactics again. So we're going through here, changing all the tactics back, because yeah, it literally, no one was playing in the positions that I thought they were playing in, which could have been a pointer to some of our struggles, but it's probably also just the fact that I have been personally struggling to break down a couple teams so far in this career mode, which is a good thing, because it means it's a nice test. But we are getting straight into our first game here. We are away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Spurs. I'm expecting a pretty tough game against Tottenham, to be fair. They've got a very good side, and I'm not underconfident in our ability. I think we've got a little bit of working out to still do with the whole team overall. Obviously, come January, I'm hoping to make a couple of signings as well and stuff like that, so there's still more to be done with the team, I would say. But yeah, I wasn't underconfident that we could get something out of this game, but I knew it was going to be a tough game regardless. As we look at the lineups here for Tottenham first, obviously Vicario in goal, which we already knew. Dragusin starting against us, which I found interesting. They've signed Leon Goretzka as well. No Dom Solanke in the starting lineup, which I found very interesting considering he's their new signing, but Son was playing down the middle for them, which is always going to be tough because Son is a great goal scorer as well as having a lot of pace. Our team is pretty much the same teams that we have been playing, bar Jane Featherjean coming in because I think Leon Bailey was tired for this one. I'm still really figuring out what kind of play style I want to adopt with this Aston Villa side. I think at the moment we're still kind of playing that more counter-attacking football. Good save early on here from literally, I think it was from kickoff. Tottenham break through, but Emi Martinez rushes out to meet Timo Werner. Son does well here, but somehow gets tripped. Now, I thought that he fell quite late for where the trip was, and it was very, very minimal contact, I have to say. Like, you can see there, I clipped his ankle, but he kept running until he basically decided he couldn't keep going anymore to get to the ball, because I think Emi was rushing out. Annoying one there. I move Emi out of the way to dive to the right, and Son goes down the middle, whereas if I just left things how they were, we would have saved that penalty. But yeah, I thought it was a bit of a suspicious fall over from Son, but it is what it is. We go up the other end, break with Featherjean. He takes a good shot, but it is saved well from Vicario. Pedro Porro gets the ball here and does something very stupid. We find the ball inside to Ollie Watkins, and Mr. Reliable bags himself another goal this season for us. I mean, we are really on the back of Ollie Watkins from a goal scoring capacity right now. He is doing absolutely everything for us when it comes to goal scoring, which obviously that's why you pay big money for strikers, that's why you have strikers in, but Ollie Watkins really is carrying the load when it comes to scoring goals for this Aston Villa side, and we are thankful to him for it. Definitely a player I'll be looking to hold on to for the next couple of years. Not obviously unless a really, really tempting bid comes in. It's a great bit of play here from Tottenham. Son breaks past Pau Torres again, but Emi Martinez pulls out a good save. We now do collect the ball, start coming forward here. Ramsey chips the ball to Featherjean, and we get wiped out in the box now. Now that one, you can see, is a nailed-on penalty. There's absolutely no debate for that from a doggy. I don't even know what he's upset about. It's such a clear penalty. Like, he completely wiped him out. He's not even near the ball because the ball's not there. And Mr. Reliable steps up to the penalty once again, and bang, as top bin goes when it comes to penalties. Ollie Watkins gives us a 2-1 lead. 2 penalties in the first half of a Premier League game. The referee is definitely having a strict day, it seems. But like I say, I think ours was a pretty nailed on penalty. I'm still a little bit iffy about whether theirs was or not. I think you could definitely say that theirs was a lot more suspicious than ours. But we do have a 2-1 lead, so that's all that matters at the moment. Coming in to the end of the first half, Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa could not keep up with Son. That's a great tackle there from Konsa, and the second good slide tackle from Konsa. I just wanted to give him a little bit of props, but that was a rarity that we were actually managing to stop Heung-min Son. He kept getting through us over and over again. See, we skipped quite far ahead here, and I really need to get this habit out of my play style for this year's FIFA, because you cannot do this anymore. It used to be a thing that you could do last year where you could just bring a player down with a slide tackle and it would just be a yellow. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that challenge per se. I need to be using the professional foul thing more than I am slide tackling all over the place. And unfortunately, because of that red card, we wouldn't have Jacob Ramsey in the middle to press, which would leave the midfield open, roll it through to Son, and Son in the 85th minute would bag an equaliser. And as you could probably tell from the timings and how things are, that would be the end result of this game. We would walk away with a point, which in the end is not a bad thing when you come to somewhere like Tottenham to walk away with a point. Like, I definitely can't be disappointed with that. But I thought we played decently enough from a control standpoint in this game that we probably should have been able to walk away with all 3 points. But it is what it is. We let it slip. Another stupid red card from my perspective. I really need to stop doing that, because it is costing us pretty much, I think, like 3 games in the league this season out of maybe like 8 we've gotten a red card in, which isn't great, because I'm pretty sure last year on FC24 I didn't even get a red card at all. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm not really sure if we're a counter-attacking side yet, if we're a possession side, so that's something definitely still to work out, as we get a complaint from Yuri Tielemans here that he's not getting enough game time. But now we are back into the Champions League. Obviously recently we've had a couple of struggles in the Champions League with not being able to hold on to results. We got hammered by Bologna. So I can say my confidence was a little bit shaken going into this one. I wouldn't say I was unconfident, but I definitely was a little shaken. I was like, I would like a big result here if we could get one. I felt the pressure a bit more to make something happen, because obviously you only get 8 league games in the Champions League to try and get as high in that table as you can, and we had taken a big slip. I think we're down to 18th at the moment. So if we're going to continue, we definitely need to be pushing higher up the table. I can't remember how it works underneath. I know the top 8 go through. Can't remember how it works underneath that, but I want to be as close to that top 8 as possible. And unfortunately, I just don't have anything to show you guys in this one. It was an absolute snooze fest of a game, honestly. No one really took advantage. No one really was on top per se. It was a pretty even game. There's a lot of shots, but not many on target. A lot of wasted opportunities, I would say, and it ended up being a ball draw, 0-0 pretty much. So yeah, I really didn't have anything to show you guys. I combed through these highlights like 3 or 4 times to see if there was just anything that I could put in, so that I wasn't basically just skipping over the game, but there was really nothing at all. So unfortunately, all I have to show you guys is the end screen, but it's a point, so again, we can't be overly disappointed, but we also can't be happy with that again. As you can see by the stats there, we had possession, a lot of it, but we just didn't really make it count. Just a quick flick through the table here. I really need to look up the rules as to actually how qualification works for the next couple of rounds, because I really don't know, but we are starting to lose grip a little bit on those top 8 spots. Currently in 13th, so the slide is a little bit real, and we really don't have much time before we get into another very tough game. Currently top of the table We are facing Liverpool at Anfield next. Obviously, we have the red card for Ramsey in this one. I was feeling a little bit, not disappointed, but kind of, I just didn't want to use Ezri Konsa in this one. I felt like in the Tottenham game, he missed out on quite a lot of tackles and clearances that he probably should be able to deal with. But as you can see, we're in a little bit of trouble here because we've got very tired legs all over the place in the squad here, having only just played in the Champions League. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 days before this fixture against Liverpool. So I can say to you for sure, the other two I said I wasn't unconfident. In this one, my confidence was very much knocked going into this game. I really couldn't foresee us coming away from Anfield with a positive result, but I knew if we could shake those nerves off, shake off all those negative feelings, that we could potentially walk away with at least a point. So that's kind of what I was aiming for in this one. I thought we could get a point, and that's kind of where my head went. So obviously it's a quality Liverpool side that a lot of people know now. Szoboszlai, McAllister, Jota, Salah. Yeah, I was a little bit scared, but I knew if we could catch them on the break with our wingers, then we definitely had a shot of getting something against this Liverpool side. So that was what we were aiming for. I kind of played a little bit more wing play style, but this didn't help. 20 minutes in, Mohamed Salah gets through, tries to curl one. It is a good save from Emi Martinez, and he does recover to get the ball afterwards, rolls it out to Amadou Onana. He would find Maatsen going forward. Maatsen would have to come back inside, because you see they're kind of trying to crowd out my wingers. But when we switched, they didn't really have anyone over this side. Then Leon Bailey here would cut inside Joe Gomez and would bury one very early on. You thought something was going to go wrong at the other end. We do manage to crowd out Liverpool. It's a save from Emi Martinez, sets us away on a good counter-attack. A nice little bit of counter-play from us, to be fair. Maatsen did well, pulling a lot of the Liverpool team over to his side. Joe Gomez made a huge mistake there. I'm not really sure why he's sliding. And then Leon Bailey with a good finish into the bottom corner. An early lead in the first half at Anfield, after everything I just heard about being underconfident about our chances in this game. Yeah, that kind of built me there. I was like, okay, we've got something to hold on to now. Let's go out there, let's play our best football, and let's hold on to it. We would struggle to get the ball back for a big portion of the rest of this half, and not long after we scored our goal, Liverpool will go forward. Mohamed Salah finds a little bit of space just behind the defence. I'm not sure who was playing on one side. It might have been Maatsen, but it's a good little ball. You see he just drops here, and it's a good little ball from Endo, I think it was. And Mohamed Salah, when he's in those areas, obviously he's always going to score them. So unfortunately we do draw things up. Virgil van Dijk here takes a shot in the second half. It was full to Luis Diaz. Back to Van Dijk, who would lay one to Salah, and it's a great turn from Salah, I have to say. But obviously very disappointing for us not to be able to hold on to our lead, because I mean, there's not any reason we shouldn't be able to hold on to our lead. It's a good ball in, I will say that. Liverpool were controlling a big portion of this game and making it very tough for us. So it's not like it was unexpected, but it was quite annoying. Like I say, we really struggled after this to get back into the game, and Mohamed Salah, it looks like they switched him down the middle and he was just running absolute riot on me. And he would get his hat-trick, finishing off well. You can see I was a little bit triggered there because I skipped the celebrations and stuff. Went to make some subs to see if I could do anything different. I really couldn't. Up to the 91st, Luis Diaz would break forward here. We tried to go for a slide. I don't know how that went past us, but they find Darwin Nunez. He would make it 4-1, and we are thoroughly beaten at Anfield. So pretty much exactly what I thought was going to happen ended up being the case. After our goal, we just literally could not get back into this game whatsoever. I don't know why. Liverpool just ended up controlling all of the game, pretty much all over the field. All of our attacks were stifled if we could even get them through. Our midfield just kind of wasn't there. We had decent possession, but Liverpool just made every single one of their attacks count, really. We are still in third at the moment. Spurs and United have the chance to close in on us, but the lowest we can drop is 5th, so not too bad. It is a bit of obviously a stumble in form from the form that we showed earlier on this season, but that's going to happen throughout seasons. Obviously, like we all know, I still need recruitment really in January, and that will hopefully be where we get our big boost. However, you'll see our December fixture list later, and it is absolutely insane how many games we have in December. We move on to the next game here against Crystal Palace. I can fully say now that my confidence was shaken going into this game, but I did think that if there's a team that we can beat and a team that we want to play on this run, I felt like it was Palace. They hadn't done much so far this season until I saw that they were playing a 5 at the back with Gahey and Lacroix. And then at that point, I was like, oh my god, this game's going to be stupidly difficult for us to get through that back 5. Because I didn't foresee Munoz and Baraghi pushing up much. They actually ended up pushing up quite a lot, but I just didn't foresee it. And I really just couldn't actually break them down. It's a horrible bit of defending from me here. I don't know why Pau Torres was kind of just walking out of the box. It's almost like he didn't lock on or something. And Crystal Palace would take a lead over us. Not really anything to say about it. It's a good corner routine. They play it around well, little passes. Like I said, I don't know why Pau Torres was going there. Maybe Emi could have made a save, but it was so close I didn't think it was possible. We get a great cross here and a good header from Konsa, but unfortunately it ends up going straight at Dean Henderson, so he does manage to make a save off it. I thought Insigne was going to break through there, but we do just manage to stay in front of him. A couple minutes later, they go through again, but it's a big save from Emi Martinez to stop Nketiah getting his second goal. And we just couldn't find a way through. We just couldn't find the goal. I switched to a 3-back at the end of the game to try and press them a little bit more. Yeah, we just couldn't. I don't know what it was. We seem to lack a bit of an attacking edge in this episode, in these last couple of games at least. I just couldn't break teams down. I was really struggling to get through. A lot of the shots, like you would see us having like 6 shots and be like, oh, well, that's not too bad. 63% possession, 6 shots. A lot of them were from range, not really close, so I don't know what it was. I just could not break teams down. We do drop to 5th in the table, and then we move on to our last game of the episode, which is another tough game in this episode up against Juventus. We've had a pretty tough episode altogether, to be honest. And to finish things off on the back of 2 losses, going to Juventus coming to us. Yeah, it wasn't exactly what I wanted at the time that we were getting it. It kind of felt like one of the worst times to be getting a fixture like Juventus at home. I kind of felt like if we could get something out of this game, then maybe it could be a big boost to the rest of the season, because our league form is faltering a little bit, and it was the opposite way around. Obviously, our last Champions League game, it's not like we won it. We drew 0-0 with Bruges, but I felt like if we could get through this team, we might have a chance of getting a boost. I was also spurred on a little bit by, and I don't mean this in a harsh way, any Juventus fans, I don't mean this in a harsh way, it didn't look like the greatest Juventus team that I'd ever seen. Early on here, something happened here, and I didn't know at first what it was. I thought the referee had made an absolute howler here. He gave us a penalty, but I thought Ramsey tackled Watkins. But what actually happens is Ramsey runs into Watkins, Watkins missed the ball, and then Bremer tackled Watkins. So we end up getting a penalty. It's a little bit scummy. I did think about putting it over the bar when I thought it was a mistake, but it is a legit penalty at the end of the day for the game's level of penalty that gets given. Obviously in real life there's absolutely no chance it gets given most of the time. But we do take it. Ollie Watkins with another penalty. Is that the second penalty of this game, of this episode, I think. So yeah, we do manage to tuck that one away and give ourselves a 1-0 lead at home, which I was obviously absolutely ecstatic about because of the last game against Palace. We didn't manage to get a goal at all. We did manage to get a 1-0 lead against Liverpool and didn't manage to get a second goal. So We ended up getting absolutely hammered in that one. I was having slight flashbacks to that happening to us again, especially when Timothy Weah comes forward here. That ball, if it had got through, I'm pretty sure would have found Vlahovic completely free. We're struggling to clear our lines here. Former Aston Villa player Douglas Luiz picks it up, knocks to Timothy Weah here. He crosses it to the back post, but Digne's there. Kamara then heads it on again to Rodgers. Rodgers would find Ramsey. Ramsey would go to Bailey. I saw Rodgers making a pretty good run here. Angled it to him, but Bremer would come across. Over Digne would be there to intercept. Ramsey would find Bailey again. Bailey trying to do that dribbling that he does so well. Finds Matty Cash. And then this is a great ball from Matty Cash to find Ollie Watkins in the middle of the box. And Ollie Watkins would absolutely hammer one into the back of the net. That would give us a 2-0 lead, which was the thing that's been missing for us in the last couple of games, is that attacking edge to try and get a couple goals. But this time we would manage to double our lead, so it would give us a little bit of breathing space, even if Juve managed to get back in the game now. No one marking Watkins in the middle. It's a great ball across, I have to say, from Matty Cash. I wasn't 100% sure where it was going when I played it, if I'm honest. But it's a great find from Matty Cash. We do take a 2-0 lead, obviously, as I've already said. And then late on here in the second half, well, not too late, 63rd minute, we would break forward again. Another horrendous tackle from Danilo, I think it was. And Ollie Watkins would get his hat-trick at home against Juventus to put us 3-0 up. What a turn of events this is, especially off the back of the last two games where we have taken losses. I was not expecting to play Juventus and score 3 goals. Probably 80% of the time that wouldn't happen. But somehow in this game it's working perfectly. I do decide to make some subs here because we got tired legs. Played a lot of games recently. Stanisic on for Matty Cash, Philogene coming on, and I thought, he's got a hat-trick, let's bring John Duran on for Ollie Watkins, because we might as well give John Duran some time at this point. But yeah, it was a pretty... there's not a lot of attacking highlights from Juventus, because their shots were ones that were just never going to go in. Like, they were popping like 30-40 yard shots most of the times when they were coming forward. But we do manage to hold on for a 3-0 win. I say hold on, it was literally 3-0, we should hold on. We do manage to claim a 3-0 win over Juventus. Ollie Watkins gets the match ball with all three goals to himself. A very nice win to finish off this episode, considering I was absolutely dreading this game off the back of our last two performances. But you really can't ask for a bigger response from that. So last check at the table to end this episode off. We will finish things in 5th in the league, but we're still well within that Champions League spot fight. We do now move up to 6th in the Champions League with 3 games, I believe, left in the league portion of the Champions League. So if we can claim some results in those next 3 games, we could see ourselves stay within the top 8. Form table doesn't look great on the back of that episode. As you can see, we had 2 draws, 2 losses and a win. There's the December I was talking about. I believe we have 8 games in December, so it's going to be a very, very tough month. It might even have to be split down for my mental health. Do have some youth stuff going on here. We don't decide to sign anyone immediately from Oz. We do sign one English player up there. We do find a very promising looking talent here in Owusu Mensah. So we have to go and clear some space in the academy. My game did break for a minute there, but luckily I had already saved everything, so it's fine. Do release 2 players here. One of the players that was already in... Sorry, 3 players I think I released there. A couple of the players were already in our academy when we signed things up here. There's Owusu Mensah getting signed up. I think I then go back to Australia and sign up one of their players. But yeah, we've got a decent looking few prospects in our academy. No one ready to be called up straight away, but we've got a couple that could be decent in the future. But yeah, that is going to be the end of this episode as we take it looking at Owusu Mensah. Hopefully he grows well for us. But yeah, that's the end of this one. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get notified when the next episode is available to you, and I hope to see you in it. Peace.